show you things I love about you. Holding hands and feeling so cool. All the things I love about you. I share your lips and kiss anytime. You're so nice to make me feel right. Giving looks and dancing all night. Can we are the superstars, superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars.
Yeah, one of the big days at Awapuni. It is Boring at Ingelheim, 1550 day at Group 3 level. And the man on the track for us there as part of the Punters Lounge Live is Bevan Sweeney. Bevan, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you, Aidan. Welcome into Awapuni, where it is beautifully fine, very pleasant day. 8 races on the program. The feature is the mile, which has drawn a very good field here this afternoon. So track conditions come up slow 8, on the better side of slow 8, I understand, and on the improve throughout the day with the weather that is present at the moment.
Yeah, that's really encouraging, those track conditions, isn't it? Let's get you straight into it. The Waterforce Farmers Transport Handicap to kick us off. 170 now about iGrain. $6 for I Tell You One Thing, $6.50 for Sylvester and Hard to Be Humble. Stephen, we heard earlier on that all the money is around iGrain here, and at 170 looks like a dominant favourite.
A very important race when it comes to bookies v punters. Aidan around iGrain, just crunching some numbers around the 6-year-old mare by Galileo. Open 1.85, now trading $1.70, holds 90% of total turnover in this race. She will start the shortest priced favourite up and down the country today. There is now 1,800 multis running through iGrain. At the top of the show, it was a tick over 1,000, so it just continues to grow, the multis in progress. So if this horse wins, the spread of multis throughout the rest of the cards, the 16 races to follow, will be great for punters, but obviously a negative for us. In singles, it's quite respectable. We've got that under control, but it's really multis a telling factor going forward to this afternoon.
Exactly. Let's see where iGrain ends up in running with our speed map. And yeah, we've got the horse right on speed. So when we spoke to Lisa Allpress, she had it different to this earlier on. But I've got to say, I thought Nitro Ted was the likely leader and would get the run right in behind it. Bevan, when we come to you, iGrain was a winner on a slow 7 track first up in New Zealand. So can do it on the better ground. But this performance in the Interprovincial was just a performance that you would think was a lead up to winning a race like today's.
Yeah, it's the right race. $1.70. I'm not shopping anywhere near that sort of quote, but I think Stephen and the team have got it right. Monacare's a tough horse, isn't it? And this was the Interprovincial, so the form stacked up nicely out of this. There's Jawlicious in second, who's been through by the trip and almost won at Wanganui. So they're pretty good form lines. Look, I think if I'd tell you one thing and had one more run in, you'd find that iGrain would be a little bit longer in this particular market because it's got a lot of talent. I think it'll back up at Hawke's Bay in maybe 3 weeks and be a big player there over a trip. Sylvester's a good staying horse, but yeah, got to be the one for the afternoon. Should get punters underway in a race where it's set to win, Aidan. I think you guys lined it up on the first call yesterday, and I'll be lining it up today.
Yep, fair call too. Let's move you on to the second, Bevan. This one, the CR Grace Marsh Insurance Brokers Handicap. It's over 2,100 metres. Joint favourites, Obrigado and Ave Maria, both at $5, $6 Magic Ivan, and Grinner $5.50 Cornerstone, $9.50 Red Rascal. Looks like it was a tough race to put a market together on, Stephen.
Indeed, Aidan. We had 3 sets of prices for this particular market, all 3 of us having different favourites, resulting in a low confident race. Look, it's set into 2 divisions. The top 6 look to be a fairly even chance, and then a long tail from 7 down. So, look, a lot of the traction has been around the top 6 in this particular race. Obrigado blinkers going on, a $5 top line favourite, equal with Ava Marie. Now, if I can give a slight lead to who will start favourite, possibly Ava Marie, who holds around about 130 odd multis compared to Obrigado with 50 currently. So multis leading towards Ava Marie to close favourite. Bit of specking around the local and Cornerstone at 5.5 in that second line of betting, and also Grinner at a $6 price. If the race was to jump right now, biggest liability in the rating 65 stayers.
Yeah, Ave Marie's a horse who's always been threatening, but that win strike rate, just a 1 from 23, is putting her off, but she's on top for me. Speed map suggests Cornerstone and Big Red Moon will be somewhere near it, but it's a messy old race, and we just want you to clean it up for us, Bevan. Can you do that?
Not really, Aidan, to be frankly honest with you. Look, I think the Grinner's the obvious one for me, and behind Hard to Be Humble from a reasonable sort of gate, 4 kilos off. I think it can run a race. Obrigado, Just a big dope, this horse. His ability, blinkers going on him. He probably should have beaten Quaff at New Plymouth, but he just wouldn't run straight, just kept on laying in, beating a length and a half. I think he'll handle the slightly better track conditions. The 5 Red Rascal, I've been impressed with this horse. Across the last couple of starts, it is a big step up to the 2100 metres. Thought Magic Ivan was a chance in the race. Ave Maria just backed it too many times and she hasn't quite got across the line. So she's not in my 4. I'm up in 3 to beat 2, 5 and 1 in race number 2.
Third of the program is the Pilot Contracting Pioneer Seeds Handicap. This one over the 1200 metres. Gift of Power return. She's a winner of 8 of 14. She's a Group 2 winner and she's got Speed to Burn. Her last trial was outstanding. 210 and 108, 190 and 110. King Cougar at 380 and 130. 650 for both Shelley's Ace and Manhattan Street. All the interest here, Stephen, is about Gift of Power and how she's returned. What's the money saying?
During the week, Aidan, it was matched dollar for dollar around Gift of Power of King Cougar. But this morning, it's all about Gift of Power, and with the ever-improving track, it's only just going to fit into her favour, Gift of Power. Open 2.3, she was $2.20 this morning. She's now into $2.10. And now she holds around about 3 times more money than King Cougar. So very popular runner this morning around Gift of Power. And I wouldn't be surprised if she started in the red. The fact that there's little money around Shelley's Ace. Shelley's Ace, interesting runner. She's had 2 faults this time in, both at New Plymouth. So if you want to play the forgive card that she just doesn't handle that track, she could represent a little bit of value. But at the moment, Friendless can't write a ticket on Shelley's Ace. 520 out to 6.5. Manhattan Street, a notable drifter with the improving track, a big negative, now trading 6.5. And Ram Sam and Heaven's Keep have been also friendless. So it's all around about Gift of Power this morning. Number 3 in the book at $2.10.
Yeah, really good information. Thanks for that, Stephen. Let's see where she lands in the speed map out in front. Thought Ram Sam might be a little bit closer in running here. Bevan, we're really looking forward to seeing her. How's she going to go?
I think she'll win, but she will take a fair bit of pressure in the run here, Aidan. I'm with you. Ram Sam is generally a horse that'll push forward and put pressure on. You've got Manhattan Street, although I think the track condition's just a bit too good for Manhattan Street. Heaven's Keep can roll on forward and at times can't be restrained, but this is the trial at Taupo in good company, clearly. These Sensible Princess out wide, John Snow, so I wondered whether she'd come back as a 4-year-old mare, but she clearly has come back nice. You've got young Bailey in the saddle on this occasion. She's hard held to the line. Just on occasions here at Awapuni, she's fought the rider and Chris Johnson, but she's still been too good. I've got her on top, the 3 Gift of Power. If it's really strong tempos-wise, I know King Cougar's flying. He's got a slight niggle around these improving track conditions, but he is a serious horse. Ram Sam will be in the mix. Shelley's Ace will also be there or thereabouts with a couple of kilos off the back. But all things being equal, I think she'll win.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bevan, and yeah, just looking forward to seeing how she comes back. But she's a star. She's won 8 of 14, and that record speaks for itself. Fourth of the program. This one is the CP Wool Carfield's Livestock Handicap over the 1300 metres, rating 72 gallopers. Bowden at 260 and 125. Could be a Team Rogerson, Chris Johnson back-to-back double there after Gift of Power in the previous 260 and 125. The rest are pretty even, headed by Tinkalicious at $7. Market moves here, Stephen?
During the week, this overall market was fairly quiet, Aidan. I think punters wanted a little bit more around Bowden at $2.60, but they've had to take their medicine, and they're starting to back Bowden this morning at 2.6. Again, I don't think it's going to stay any higher than that. The fact that too many of these horses around Bowden have been fairly friendless, one of them being Sea Star, 750 at 8.5. Choice Attitude, who again brings Hawke's Bay Premier form as the favourite does Bowden, has been a notable drifter, 7 out to 8.5. There's a couple interesting runners I should touch on. Tinkalicious, who has jump out form recently up at the Naki. First up here has been well supported for Janelle Miller's stable. $7 rock solid in that second line of betting. And also Mars Bars, who I think has run second in a recent jump out, has had a decent amount of money. We accepted a $500 bet when betting commenced around Mars Bars, $8.50 for the Alan Sharrock stable.
Yeah, interesting. Bowden, are you going to take your medicine, Bevan, and take the shorts, or are you finding something else?
I'm going to speak a little bit of value in this particular race. Choice Attitude. I thought its run behind Hartley in the same race as Bowden was outstanding, sectionally brilliant. And third up this preparation, I think you'll get a run. Here is the performances of Just You, Bowden and Choice Attitude. Now, it gets to an awkward position towards the inside. Now, it was still good down on the row. You see Hartley coming across heels and is going to put them away. Bowden gets that run up the inside, so had all favours. But watch Choice Attitude just in behind Bowden late in this particular race. Also Smoking Oak, that was one heck of a run as well. And I just thought this horse might get on the back of Bowden, and you could look out at $9.50. I think Choice Attitude can get Bowden on that performance. I think Smoking Oak goes around Taupo Friday, so follow that horse because it was one of the best sectionals on the entire program. So I'm going with the 6 Choice Attitude. I thought Bowden from the 7 gate will get forward and find a position, and was very good, winning 2 from 2 here at Awapuni. 8 Tinkalicious. I was going to show you the fresh up run of last season here, and it was outstanding. And Seastar, got to put Seastar in the mix. Good honest horse who's really come to it this preparation.
Good race to show, Bevan, as well, because that's the race that we saw Lubea and Animator come out of, and they'll go around later in the program and be chances as well. I think it's been a really strong form race, that from Hastings. On to race number 5, and this one is the Agronomics Handicap, where Glimpse is at 360 and 140, leading roll at 440, and Quaff at 380 and 145. Keep It Savvy at 550 and 185. Where's the money going in this one, Steve?
When betting commenced yesterday afternoon, Aidan, we posted Glimpse and Quaff at $4.20 each of 2. Been a couple of deductions. Glimpse now top line betting at $3.60, ever so slightly in front of Quaff at $3.80. But again, well supported the pair. Leading roll, quite friendless at the moment, so potentially that horse will be running for us later on this afternoon. 440, got as short as $4.20 around leading roll. Keep It Savvy, interesting runner. It'll be interesting to hear Bevan's thoughts about this particular runner. 3 starts back, it led out of the blue with blinkers on. Jonathan Parks doing the riding, did the business on this course and this distance. It's gone back in 2 previous starts and has failed on both times. So Ryan Elliott does the riding here. I think they'll push forward. And look, punters are well onto this in particular, or this individual at $5.50. Could have got as high as $6. Currently our biggest losing result in this particular race. But overall, even market.
Yeah, it looks like a really tricky betting affair. Let's have a look at the speed map for you, and this will show that Dancing Arioli is going to press forward with Madam McPhee and Zeta Lass as well. Stephen's saying that leading roll was friendless. There's only won 2 of 29. But we're going to go and show you this run. And Bevan, is it one that's captured your imagination?
Yeah, he does this though, Aidan. I'm going to tip him out on top, but he can do this. He's done this at Hawke's Bay through the previous season. Of course, he went around in good company. His 29 starts have been in some pretty strong sort of form races. Pick up Glimpse. Looks as though it's going to come through a gap there and then just get slammed out of it just there, Buddy Lemus. Then leading roll sticks to the inside and finishes off very, very strongly. He will love the step up to 15.15 leading roll. Glimpse, I didn't see that price around it at $3.60. I thought that he would possibly start favourite. But I can understand why people are looking towards Quaff and Glimpse, but I think leading roll's going to be the one for me. Glimpse, as you saw in that video, just a little bit unlucky. Look, I put Keep It Savvy in just because you don't know what it's going to do. If it comes out and performs up to its best, then it'll more than likely win the race because it does have that sort of ability, but gee, it can throw the towel in if things get tough. And the 3 Quaff was a very good winner, beating home a nice horse and Charlie Horse at New Plymouth. So I marked them 4 to beat 6, 1 and 3 in race number 5.
Yeah, not an easy race that for sure. Let's move you on to the 6th. This one is the New Farm FBANZ Handicap, where Lubea's at 4 and 145. As we saw in that video that Bevan showed you before, was absolutely luckless coming through. And Animator was much the same, just unable to get a split at the top of the straight at 850. Irish Flame was terrific at 420 and 160. And the Heiress at 440 and 160 for Lisa Allpress was in that as well. Where's the market push coming from, Stephen, here?
Reinvesting on a horse, they got the Bickies first up, Aidan, around Irish Flame. It won very impressively on its home track. John Wheeler does his training here. Opened at $4.50 in that second line of betting. It's now $4.20 and it's really going to challenge favouritism with Lubea. Lubea is an interesting runner. The fact that I've kept a close eye on this individual as soon as she made her debut a season or so ago for Royden Burgesson, a profile that fits around this horse, a horse that noticeably gets well backed every time it races. But at the moment, I cannot ride a ticket around Lubea, even though I thought it was a pretty good run on a Premier Day last start. So $3.50 has gone out half a point to $4. The Harris at $4.40, Baker Forsman runner, always well supported, rock solid at that line. Animator's been well supported. Again, you're not sure what you're going to get with this individual. Can be a bit rank at times, $8.50, very solid. And a couple they have specced in this middle market, Cape de Jour local, 13 to 9, and also Hand It to Jonesy, rock solid at $13.
Interesting about Lubea, because that's the race that Bevan showed you before. We're going to go and have a look at it again very shortly, but have a look at the speed map first. She's a filly or mare who does get back and running and does need luck. Bachelor Babe likely to press forward with the ERS Bartabula Animator or somewhere near the speed according to our map. But Bevan, we go back and have a look at this. She featured prominently in the Stipes report. She's in the Daffodil Day colours. The other horse to look out for here is on the inside of her, back on the fence, Animator, who just struggles to get a split as well. They're both very good runs.
Yeah, they are, and this is a great form race, and she really went to the line a little bit untested coming to that particular part of the track, but she will get well back. That's my big concern around Lubea. Animator, he can do anything. He really can do anything. He's got ability when he puts his mind to it, and I think he'll win today. He'll go very, very close. So I'm going to spec him in the market, Animator. He has won here, and he's won impressively here, the 5 in the book. My one concern about Irish Flame is that Jonathan gave him a very tough run at New Plymouth fresh up. He probably wasn't 80%, so to win that race, may have just sucked a little bit of gas out of him, so he's got to back it up. He's a good horse that will go through the grades quickly. He's in for second. Cape de Jour, she's obviously got big targets then this afternoon at the 1550, so I'd just leave her alone today because you'll find her up over 2,000 metres in a nice race in the not too distant future, and you can back her then. And then the 10 in the book, yeah, Lubea will hit the line, but it's another interesting race, but I'm going to spec a bit of value. I think Animator, if he does the job right, will go close to winning.
Yeah, I think one of the pair. I've got Lubea over Animator, but not a lot between them. Yeah, good video to show for sure. Let's move you on to the 7th. This is a feature. This is the Group 3 running of the Boehringer Ingelheim 1550. Rosewood comes up a 450, 170 favourite for new rider Rosie Myers. You're getting $5 She's Poppy, $5 Des, $5.50 for Art Deco, $8 for Under the Moonlight and New York Minute. Stephen, the money coming which way?
Yeah, look, it's a market that really is influenced by track conditions, Aidan. Rosewood we posted at $4.50. She's Poppy $4.80 up to $5. Des has been the second best bet runner, $5.50 top fluck during the week, now $5. And I wouldn't be surprised with the improving track conditions that Des will start favourite in what I say is an open race, could close closer to $4 than $5, with Rosewood potentially being a slight drifter from a $4.50 top favourite price currently. Art Deco, losing result at the moment, opened at $6.50, now trading at $5.50, includes a $1,000 bet at 6.5. New York Minute, a slight drifter, $7.50 out to $8. And Under the Moonlight, look, quite often this horse is running for us in group level company, but gee, you cannot ride a ticket around Under the Moonlight. Maybe punters a little bit nervous drawing the ace with Tim Johnson doing the riding. It's going to be an awfully hard or tricky ride for Tim Johnson, the way I've mapped it. So, look, very friendless, 6 out to 8. So, best bet runner, Des, just in front of Art Deco in a very competitive Group 3 feature today.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one, Stephen. Let's have a look at that speed map because, as you've said, it might be a tricky one. Under the Moonlight does draw the inside but tends to get back. New York Minute looks the likely leader, but whether track conditions are right or not, Authentic Paddy to go forward with Art Deco getting a handy spot according to the speed map. Bevan, we've got 4 or 5 horses that look absolutely, well capable of winning this, and then it tails off a little bit for mine, but it's going to be a really competitive race, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. There's some good quality racehorses in here, there is no doubt about that. I ended up going with She's Poppy. She is a wonderful horse in that fresh state. I thought with that little bit of a swing in the weights back against Des, I had to go with the 6 over the 8. I think this horse will run a race, always does, and was very competitive down south in the Winter Cup. Over Art Deco, I love the fact this horse is on the quick back up with her little bit of natural speed. I think she'll posse up beautifully from that draw, and I think she'll only train on from what we saw at Wanganui, which was completely dominant. Yes, Des, he has X factor. He can be a little bit erratic, but he has improved. Whether from that 5 draw, if he can get down to the rail position and follow that, Aidan, I think that might be a key to him. If he gets a run up the inside, if he finds that sort of position, I think he can win. I'm throwing in Paddy on these track conditions. Why couldn't he win this particular race? I mean, he was off the track. You just forgive what happened at Hastings. His prior run at Te Rapa was amazing, one of his best, over 1,200 metres in his career. So I thought he was good value at $12. I think he can win.
Yeah, exactly. I've just gone back through. I said coming to you that it tails off a bit. Well, just looking at it again, it really doesn't. So, yeah, it's a feature race that's worthy of that Group 3 status, and we'll look forward to it later on this afternoon. The last of the program, race 8, is the John Turkington Manawatu Toyota Handicap over the 1,400 metres. Coco Bell at 460, Get Schroeder at $480, $6 Sky High Ratu, $7.50 for Kirkines and 2 Abbey Road at $9 and $2.90. Where's the money taking us in this one, Stephen?
Yeah, look, punters have seen an opportunity to make a quid in this particular race, Aidan. Around Coco Bell, interesting runner. Look, on ratings, my personal ratings, she clearly leads in front of any other runner in this particular race. But the fact that she's first up, I think she's had a recent jump out, but you just don't know how forward she is. But looking at the market, she is cold and will need the run. So that's where the value and the opportunity comes for punters. Get Schroeder, who's a trial winner. You know the All Reds will have this horse fairly forward in fitness. Has been very well supported. Currently best back runner, $5.50 into $4.80. Sky High Raw 2, one of many good rides for Lisa Allpress, has been very well supported. Second best back runner, 8 into 6. They're speaking a little bit of money for a few horses that have come off the bench, in Vega and Valor, 14, 16 respectively. So, yeah, at this stage, Coco Bell we're holding at the moment, but could be a notable drifter at the moment. Get Schroeder, Sky High Raw 2, and a couple that I've spec in the middle market. That's where the value of coming in the terms of the punter's eyes.
Okay, we'll get a lead on it from our form man, Bevan Sweeney. How'd you see the last?
I had a default selection here, A-Rod. I went with Get Schroeder on the trials, but Get Schroeder's done that at the trials and been pretty disappointing on race day. Of course, it has won the one race and impressive that day, but I wasn't going to be putting a lot on it. It did beat home Divine Love, who is a good horse and went nicely yesterday at Woodville. So I'll go with it. The draw's a nightmare though. Abbey Road, my old fave. Zinjaday's got the reins today. Best of luck to her because he can do anything as well. But look, he's a serious racehorse when he's right, and he trialled up nicely behind Swissell recently. Outside of that, got a bit of time for the 13, but I think it'll get well back. And the market suggests, as Stephen mentioned, that it's going to need a run. Sky High Ratu's going nicely enough to be right in the mix as well here for Lisa Allpress. Here's my $100 strategy for the afternoon across the 8 races. I'm going to put 40 on Gifted Power. I think we'll go Glimpse, Animator, Get Schroeder. Best is iGrain, Animator is my value, and Hand It to Jonesy is my blowout on the program here. Aidan, and quite like that little jockey special double here with the L Allpress, J Parks to ride. What is it, 3, 4 or 5 winners on the program?
Well, we'll both be happy with that, I'm sure, Bevan. Thanks for taking us through the card. We'll be back with you only in a couple of minutes' time to lead us into the first of the day. Stephen Hunt, thanks for being part of the Punters Lounge Live again and giving us all that insight through the betting markets.
No worries, Aidan. Thank you.
Okay, we'll keep us up to date throughout the afternoon as well on Trackside Live. Thanks for being part of the Punters Lounge Live. We're going to take a short break. Of course, this brought to you in association with Malachi Downs. We're back with Trackside Live very shortly.
Welcome back to Awapuni, the first on the program just to follow.